Hi guys, good afternoon. We are going to do a little bit of a video today about newborn composites. So I'm going to record this quickly as I can. I'm not going to go into everything about Photoshop today, but this is going to be very similar to a lot of the education that I'm going to be putting out. So let's go into Photoshop. And here in Photoshop, you see a photo of a newborn on a brown canvas. And what we want to look for when we're doing composites in Photoshop is the light. What direction is the light coming from? So this direction right here is where the light's coming from here. And we're going to take this little dude and we're going to put him over here. We're going to put him into this background, however you want to put it. So right now I'm in Photoshop and I am on a Windows PC, okay? I am not on a Mac. I'm going to tell you what my keyboard shortcuts are when I use them. Does not mean that it's going to be the same for you. I have set up my keyboard shortcuts and you can set them up specifically for you in Photoshop, and you can do, and I've had them the same for so many years that I almost have to think about what they are because I just do them automatically, but they are going to look a little bit different. Some of my keys are going to be called a little bit different things if you're using a Mac, so please keep that in mind. And these are all things that you can Google and you can find out from the Adobe Academy for free, is how to set your keyboard shortcuts, things of that nature. Not something that we're going to go over today, but when we get into the nitty gritty parts of from beginner to professional as far as Photoshop is concerned, that actually may be something that we tackle. But for today, I want to do a composite for you guys. So we're going to do a quick composite here. This guy, the light is coming from this way, and it's pretty obvious with this backdrop that what direction it's coming. Now we're going to go over here. And I'm going to go Control A, and that's going to select the whole thing, okay? And then Control C on my keyboard. You can also go up here to Edit and Copy and Edit and Select All, because that's basically what we did. I'm going to go back over here to this elephant picture, and I'm going to Control V, and I'm going to put this baby right on top, okay? And now we have two layers over here in our Layers panel. Now, one thing you can probably notice, I'm going to hit Control T so I can move this baby around, is that well, the light is, this baby's going this way, and this baby, the elephant baby, is going this way. Well, we need to change that because we always want to be in the direction of the light. So I am going to make sure that I have clicked on this layer. I'm going to go up here to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, and we're going to flip that baby around. Now I'm going to go back to Control T again, which is Transform in the menu here. Okay, free transform is Control T. In my life on this Windows machine. And then I'm going to move this baby up here, okay? And you might see a little bit of a lagginess here because I am doing a screen record while I'm utilizing Photoshop. It's very resource heavy on this machine. So if it jumps a little bit, I apologize. So now we're going to come back over here and we're going to hit opacity and we're going to bring it down so we can see this elephant underneath. And I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to make this baby smaller. And I'm going to click, drag, and hold this baby while I am making this baby smaller. Now I have on my scroll wheel on my mouse. I am not using a trackpad because I'm old school. I'm not using a pen. I am using an old school mouse. I can zoom in and out on my scroll wheel so that I can, you're going to want to do this as well because right now the rest of the picture doesn't matter. You are going to be more worried about where this baby is sitting and what this baby is doing. And you can also move like this. All right, so I'm going to click that and click OK. We're going to leave this baby right there for right now. I'm going to come back over here to my opacity and crank it back up. I'm going to make sure I'm on layer 1. I'm going to go over here to the subject selection tool, the quick selection tool, and I'm going to hit Select Subject. And we're going to wait for it to think about it. And this tool used to kind of suck. It actually has gotten a lot better over the years with artificial intelligence. Still doesn't do 100% sometimes, but I chose this one because this guy has a hat on, and we're not going to be messing with hair. Hair is a totally different animal. So after I hit Select Subject, I'm going to hit Select a Mask, and we're going to bring it into the masking panel. And I don't really do a whole lot in this. You can refine your modes. You can do object aware, color aware, all sorts of things. It did a pretty good job, so I'm going to change my radius just a little bit. And I want my global refinements to move my smooth up just a smidge. And I want to feather him just a little tiny bit on the edge. And then my output selection, I always do new layer with layer mask, because you have more control that way. So now it got rid of the background. It is not 100%, okay? We've got weird stuff going on with the foot, and this baby looks like he's floating, all of those things. So now this is the background, and it has taken him outside of out of his personal background that he was in, where he was shot in studio, and now we have him here. So I'm going to go Control T so we can move him around a little bit more. I don't know, he might want to be a little bit smaller here. Go up like this. You really, this is what it's about, is playing with it. My phone won't stop ringing. I'm sure you can hear it. Okay, we're gonna leave him there for right now. So you've got a layer mask over here, and I'm gonna do a whole thing on layer masks one of these days, but it's not gonna be today. If you're not familiar with what a layer mask is, it is on top of this, okay? It looks like it's next to it, but it's really on top of it. I'm gonna take my brush, okay? And I'm already on white, and maybe the 50s as far as percentage on opacity. And I'm going to start clicking in here. And I'm going to start bringing this baby in with his own blanket. See, that's really blurry because of the depth of field, so we're going to have to do something with that. I'm going to crank this up to 100% now, and I'm going to get really in here. Right by where his body touches where you want him is super important. If you're bringing your blanket over, I call it bringing the blanket over. It's also important when you're capturing a baby. Like, this would be a lot bigger job, not impossible, but a lot bigger job if this was a little girl and she was shot on pink and you're trying to bring it over to this elephant, which is on brown, okay? You got a lot of color casts that you got to deal with, things of that nature. I'm trying to pick something that's somewhat on the easier side of life for this video. Trying not to make this video 4 hours long. We are going around here. Bring that blanket and that blur over. We just might need that way it is, and we're gonna have to fix that right there. Can you see that? That's the edge of that other image. Okay. We may remove all this. The point to this is bringing in. And if you go to this, it'll take it away. So that's what your masking is for. I'm going to Control Z to get rid of that. So if you make a mistake, you're using this mask. It's non-destructive at the moment. We also want to make sure his cutout, and he's going to get blurry as I scroll in here, guys, because I am really zoomed in. We want to make sure his cutout's okay. And it actually looks pretty good. If you had jagged edges, things of that nature, you could take your black brush and you could fix the edges utilizing that black brush. Okay, see how I took it away? I'm using my bracket keys to make my brush bigger and smaller. But if you had a jagged edge, which whoopsies, sometimes you do, you could fix your edge by using the black on the mask. I also am using a brush that the hardness is it's really soft right now, basically. So I'm going to turn up this hardness a little bit. And if you want to see the difference in that, that's a hard brush. It's a soft brush. And if I'm doing edges, I want hard, because otherwise it's going to be blurry because it's a soft edge. And it's not, the depth of field isn't going to match in your image. All right, I didn't want to do that. What am I doing? Okay, we're in white. So sometimes we'll see, you know what, in compositing, and I've been doing this a really long time, sometimes it's trial and error. So you're going to watch me do trial and error. There is no perfect video here. If Kim's going to do 5-6 steps and her image is going to be perfect, and that's it, because that's not the case. So I'm going to put a layer on here, go down here to my box, add a layer. We're going to make this probably a color layer. And then I'm going to take my eyedropper and probably go to something like this, grabbing a color out of here, which is turning your color right here, back to my brush, and we are going to paint. See, if you paint on there like that, this is doing color. Let's do soft light. I want to see, and turn the opacity down. That's not horrible. We're trying to blend this color of this blanket more into the scene. Still a little dark, I think. Let's turn it down a little bit. You're naturally going to have ebbs and flows of light and dark just by where your light hit. But what we're doing is we're just trying to blend in his blanket, or the little canvas that he was on, if that makes sense. That looks pretty good. Okay. So there's a lot of other things I could do here, but for the sake of not a 12-minute video, that looks really good. I am going to take a snapshot of this. Where's my history? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take this, and it's going to take a snapshot in time of basically where I'm at before I flatten this. And I'm going to flatten it. And sometimes you do this and you're like, oh no, I didn't fix this and I didn't fix that, and you got to go back to this over here, okay? And that's why I do that, because it happens to everybody. So we're going to fix some things. Number one, we need to fix this. So I'm going to come in here. First of all, I'm going to duplicate my image. I'm going to come in here, and we're going to get rid of this. And we actually might, let's see what this does. And my dog's going to bark. Actually, I like that. Yep. That's better. Just painting on there and letting go, and it's using the artificial intelligence algorithm to fill in the cropped pixels. We're going to flatten, and then we're going to duplicate. We're going to go up here to liquefy. It's going to glitch a little bit because liquefy is very resource hoggy, and I got a lot going on. I'm trying to get in here. Come on, you can do it. All right. I'm going to make my liquefy smaller, and we're going to push this blanket up just shit. Not quite that hard. We want size. I really don't want it to be that hard to push. Oh, that's why. It's on blue. See, it doesn't matter if I'm doing a video or not. I still screw stuff up. I'm on blue. I'm like, why is it doing that? Up here on your left-hand panel, you want your forward warp tool, which is not what I was using. Okay, let's try this again. I'm like, why is it doing that? We want to push this blanket up just a little bit for pressure points on this kid. Okay. I'm going to come over here. Going to pull this up just a little bit. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, we're gonna go, okay. So, if you want to see what the before and after was on this, okay, and while I could do some cleanup here, okay, and a little bit of cleanup here, what I'm going to do now is color tone the entire image, and I think that's super, super important. So let me get down here, And so I went camping this weekend. I took my laptop with me and my mouse pad's in my camper, and I have not gone down to get it yet. So that was also part of my problem. So I'm going to go down here to color. This is an action, maybe. Color corrector. I'm going to duplicate this layer, and I'm going to hit go. It's an action. Yes. So it is taking a compilation and an average of the color that's in this image. Okay, and I want, this baby is actually a little bit color toned a little bit differently than the actual background image. So we're going to put this on top. And yes, I understand that it just made him really dark. But we're going to pull this down a little bit. And then I'm going to think about it, because I'm going to go, how does that? Yeah. It made him a little bit dark. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm probably going to do this because this whole thing is driving me nuts. Okay. And then I was looking for the, I have 9 million actions in here. And I can show you how to do it without the action as well. I just have the action, so I use the action. Okay, so I feel like that's too strong and too contrasty. So I'm going to go down here while using this action and pull this contrast. The contrast was just crazy. I don't even think I want that much. Okay, we can see what each one did here. I want the mid-tone ones. This is an action to pull your highlights, pull your shadow details out. I actually want to shut that one off. I actually do not want the unsharp mask and the smooth, and then I'm going to discard, yes. All right, guys, that is our composite. We started off with this guy here, and we ended up with this guy here. I hope that helps, and I can't wait to teach you more about composites. Have a great day.